So, as everybody knows by now, YIAN KUT-KU is officially back for Monster Hunter Wilds, but I am not entirely sure if this is going to be a standard monster release, or shall I say return to the series, or not, because I do have a couple of interesting theories regarding this, and this is stemming from a very specific wording by Ryozo and also Monster Hunter on Twitter, which I will elaborate on in just a moment. But yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm trying to hit 1,000 before Wilds releases. That will be very much appreciated. So if you do like these type of videos, I will obviously be continuing to make them, and I am really enjoying doing this at the moment. Just getting me out of my comfort zone a little bit. It's not something I've ever really done in the past. So, but yeah, thank you very much. So regarding the actual YIAN KUT-KU itself, as we know, as we saw in the trailer, we saw a bunch of them. There was a lot of them on the screen at one time, and they're just chilling out. You know, no hostility, no nothing. It's just a bit bizarre to me, and I'll get into that in just a moment. Also, just to add to this, just a bit of a visual comparison in regards to YIAN KUT-KU that was shown in the Wilds trailer compared to his last appearance, which was in 4 Ultimate. As you can see, I mean, the difference is astonishing. I mean, he looks absolutely amazing. Like, it's almost a different monster altogether. It's literally that. The difference is so big. Like, it's one of the biggest differences in terms of monsters that I think we've had in a while, especially for something that is not as far back as, say, the first game. 4 Ultimate obviously was a long time ago, but it wasn't 20 years ago. And the difference is just, like, the progress is absolutely insane. And it just makes me excited for anything else that they may have in the pipeline to return. So if we are getting any very old monsters from, like, the 4U era, or from even the Generations Ultimate, it's just going to be absolutely brilliant. I mean, I can't really compliment them enough for the graphical improvements they've made, the obvious hard work they've done just to show, you know, everything about the monsters, the scaling, absolutely everything. So yeah, I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Obviously, we don't know if or how they're gonna look in combat yet, but I can just be assured that this is gonna be an absolute stark difference from this original and its 4U version, and it's probably not even going to be close. Like, it's going to be nowhere near. So yeah, I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Just some quick thoughts on that, because I think they deserve praise for this type of thing, because I know it's going to take a lot of hard work, and they obviously care so much about the product that they put out, which is another thing that us as Monster Hunter fans are so incredibly lucky to have a team of developers like this, because some are just there, they just put any rubbish product out every year. They don't really care, because they know people still buy it. They're going to fill their pockets up, and it doesn't matter. Everything else is irrelevant. Whereas here, obviously the profits and everything are going to be a big and a very important part of process of making the game. But you can tell that these guys actually play the games. You can tell these guys actually really care about the game. So yeah, just on a tangent there, but I just think it's something that needed to be said, because they really do deserve the praises. Back to YIAN KUT-KU anyway. So from Ryozo's little flash interview thing after the trailer and everything played out, where the YIAN KUT-KU was shown for the first time to everybody, he mentions something along the lines of the way you will encounter this monster and when is for you to find out. So we'll look forward to it. Essentially, the wording of when and how you will encounter this monster means that, or would indicate that it has some sort of importance to it. Obviously, every monster is important. Obviously, it's all part of the experience. But why would you say it in this manner if it's just a regular, you know, yeah, YIAN KUT-KU's back, go fight it, whatever, you know. Obviously brought up the fact that it was initially like an introductory fight for hunters to get used to the game and to practice and whatnot, but it's as if it's not going to be the case anymore. Obviously, I'm expecting Chatacabra to be the, you know, the first monster you fight, like the Great Jagras, if you will, of Monster Hunter Wilds. This is obviously in the Windward Plains, and then obviously I'm not entirely sure who the monster for that in the Scarlet Forest is going to be, like the very lowest tier monster. Maybe it's something that's not been revealed yet. Perhaps it could be Lalabarina, for all I know. But yeah, YIAN KUT-KU's obviously always been quite a low tier monster, so it's a little bit weird for that to be such an emphasis on this. And also, as you can see here from this tweet from the Monster Hunter team when they revealed YIAN KUT-KU, it also brings up a similar wording to what Ryozo said, so as if there is a different type of role that YIAN KUT-KU is going to play, rather than just be a standard, you know, it's another monster, you go out there, you hunt it, you get the parts for it, you build a weapon, build a set if you want, and that's it, part of the game cycle. So, for me, I think it's something that needs to perhaps be addressed a little bit, which is why I'm here. So in my mind, YIAN KUT-KU will be a fightable monster, in my opinion, just like a normal monster as you fight it. I feel like that'll be kind of a waste. But I do think that it's going to have some sort of other purpose, and I will explain why right now. So as we can see from the clip of the YIAN KUT-KU when they revealed it first, you can see there are loads, and I mean loads of them on the screen. Some are further out in the background, further up in the air, but then there's obviously the ones that you see close up. Now what's interesting here is the Woodward tribe that we encounter in game are all here. So there's no animosity, there's no reacting, there's no, oh, there's a tribe and there's some hunters here, start attacking before they get us. It's just they just don't stop what they're doing. It's as if they're used to us being there. Us meaning hunters plus obviously the Woodward tribe. Now that to me tells me one or two things. The Woodward tribe have, you know, come to peace with the YIAN KUT-KU, and they, you know, work alongside together. There's no hunting back and forth. Or two, the Woodward tribe have domesticated these YIAN KUT-KU and use these to do various things, whether that's helping with hunting or whether it's transport. And transport is where I want to go, because as you can see in the back, it's like we can't really see above, obviously past this. We can only see obviously out in the back in the air and stuff with the other YIAN KUT-KU. So my thought here is, if that is a cliff, for example, something that's not, that you can't walk to or ride your sacred over to, because obviously the sacred can glide but not fly fully. So imagine if these YIAN KUT-KU's purpose were to get you to the next area, because as I said before, I believe that those ruins may be part of a different map altogether, and if that's the case, we're going to need some sort of way of getting there. And obviously if the sacred cannot fly us to the area, we're going to need some other means of traversal. Now what if the YIAN KUT-KU were trained by the Woodward tribe and to take them across that bit, because it could be water, it could be just a bit of a steep fall, and allow them to do their hunting needs, whatever the tribe gets up to. That could be a very interesting way of tackling it, and I think that could be something that introduces us to the next locale after the Scarlet Forest, because if it is, as obviously we know how big the game is, we know how seamless the game is. And they have mentioned that there's some areas that are a bit too far away, which is why they haven't called it an open world. Now, what if this was the beginning of this, by having a YIAN KUT-KU helping you travel across a YIAN KUT-KU that has been obviously domesticated and befriended by the Woodward tribe, to travel you and the hunters across to get to the next area. And then that's how you get there to and from essentially. I think that would be very, very interesting, and I think that'd be a great addition, really, because, you know, YIAN KUT-KU is one of the most loved monsters, even though it's one of the lowest tier monsters that they've ever done from the very first game that was released, from Monster Hunter 1. That would be bridge a little bit more of a connection between player and monster, and I think that is not something that is really showcased very often. Obviously, other than perhaps when we had the Witcher celebration and we had the Puke who came to help us if you did the little side quest. That's probably the closest I felt to a monster, if that makes sense. Bit strange, just a few pixels on the screen, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that is where I'm going with this. I feel like the YIAN KUT-KU are going to be used as a method of traversal across to an area that you are unable to access with your sacred. Specifically from here, where we find them in this little hill bit towards the ruins. I think that makes most sense to me. I mean, obviously I could be completely off and I could just be rambling, but I think that's a fair enough theory, I guess. But at the same time, like I said at the beginning, I feel like it'll be a little bit of a waste to just have the YIAN KUT-KU being used for a non-combat reasons. I feel like we'll still be able to hunt them and wear their skin as armor, essentially, and stick the head on a weapon, perhaps. Although I don't think the domesticated YIAN KUT-KU would appreciate you rocking up with that. But I feel like the Woodwards have domesticated these, but there are obviously going to be some outliers who are not domesticated and are still going to be as hostile as they were back in 4 Ultimate, back in Monster Hunter 1. So I feel like those are the ones that will be separated from the herd or the pack, whatever you want to call it, of YIAN KUT-KU, who are helpful towards the hunter and towards the Woodward tribe. And those we will be able to hunt and just progress as normal. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it, really. I just thought I wanted to touch on this because it really interests me. I mean, like I said, I could be completely wrong, and obviously nothing I say here is obviously confirmed or is going to happen. This is just a theory, but I think it's something that really interested me the second I saw just how calm and collected the YIAN KUT-KU seem to be when we approach them with the tribe. Which is probably not something you'd usually see, especially in a big group like that. You'd think at least a few of them would start, and then obviously that would then get the rest of the herd riled up. But that wasn't the case. They just stood there, you know, carried on doing their things, just chilling out, and just generally being cool, I guess. But yeah, let me know what you think, because this is a very out there take, I guess. But I do also think it's a very plausible theory to have, and I also do think that it is something that is not out of the realms of possibility. With how much they're focusing on ecology, this would be such a good take to have on a monster that already exists, that is already loved, but adding a second layer of detail to their ecology and how they act with us and anybody else. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you think I'm an idiot, then fair enough. But yeah, like and subscribe again, and appreciate everybody who's been watching the videos recently. It really, really does motivate me to keep going. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.